What up, guys? Today's video is brought to you by Upside. And how can we not be excited about Upside when inflation has us all thinking about ways that we got to cut back? Whether we drive less, we eat out less, or we buy less at the grocery store, we can all agree there's nothing really fun about less. Now, thanks to Upside, you don't have to cut back. Get cash back on gas, groceries, and all those essentials with Upside. My car, like I love a truck, it gets about 12 miles a gallon. And if you've seen your boy, I love food, so I'm really not trying to save at the grocery store. So I use Upside for all of it. Upside's easy to use. And then when you're using Upside, the question isn't how you save. It's like, what I'm going to do with all this cash I'm starting to get in my pocket now. When you use Upside, you also get to keep all those treat items that usually go first, like getting your nails did, your lattes. You ain't got to get rid of that anymore to try to keep up with the essentials that you need. So get started by downloading the free Upside app in the Apple Store or in Google Play. Use my promo code $5. Get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual, credit card, debit card, but then you get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. You also can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for like Amazon and other brands. Upside's users are earning more than $1 million every single week, guys. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. It's a fantastic app. I'm not just trying to sell you anything. This one's the real deal because inflation is all going crazy. So go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download the free app. Start using Upside and start saving money. Hey, what's up, guys? Etihad Arena, UFC 280 just wrapped. And we have a new lightweight champion of the world in Islam Makhachev. He defeats Charles Oliveira by second round submission. You know, I spoke to both of these guys this week. And, honestly, I was so invested in this fight because they're both tremendous guys and tremendous champions. Charles Oliveira loses the title tonight, or lost the title in Phoenix, which was absolute bullshit. The guy was a champion still tonight as he walked into the octagon. It was just a matter of the weight. I mean, the scale is why Charles Oliveira lost his belt. Ridiculous. But tonight, he came out here against Islam Makhachev, and when I spoke to them earlier in my YouTube videos, they were both so sure and so confident. I'd never really seen a matchup where both athletes had absolute truth or believed that they were going to win to the point that these two did. Both of these guys were extremely confident going into the fight. But as the fight started, Charles Oliveira in round 1 got hurt by Islam early with a left hand. And then when they got into the clinch, he pulled guard. But he was stuck there for the vast majority of round 1. And I believe in that moment he realized that his normal approach to the fight would not work against Islam Makhachev because Islam's top pressure is so great that if you put yourself in a disadvantaged position, you will not be able to find your way out of it. And I think Oliveira understood that. So in round 2, he got a little bit more forward on the pressure like he normally does and tried to walk Makhachev down. Guys, one thing that Charles Oliveira has working for him was that when he got hurt, guys would not jump on him and he would have time to recover. He even spoke to that. Well, tonight, when Makhachev hurt him with the left hand in round 2, he wasn't afraid to go to the ground. So Charles didn't have those moments to kind of get the cobwebs off, and Islam ultimately got a arm triangle choke and got the finish. And I think that finish spoke to the strength of Makhachev because this guy had the arm triangle in when he was still in the half guard. And the moment he got out of the half guard, Charles Oliveira tapped. Makhachev said that he could remind Oliveira what it was like to quit. Listen, I called him out on it on a couple of occasions saying, hey, man, this dude has won 11 in a row. He said there's something in you that you can always go back to when stuff starts to go wrong. And he believes, talking to him in the back right now, that that is what happened again to Charles Oliveira. I was talking to him and he goes, I told you, DC, if I reminded this guy what it would be like to be under pressure, he would go back to that place where he would give up on himself. Do I believe that to be true? I don't know. I think that's something Islam tells himself to give him confidence in knowing that he can go win this fight. But this was best case scenario for Makhachev in his camp. To go out there and not only win the belt, but win the belt in that fashion, submitting the greatest submission fighter in UFC history, and then right away, setting up the fight with Alexander Volkanovski for Perth, Australia. An interesting fight because I believe that Volkanovski can present some problems. But as John Anik has said on many occasions, how many people in the world do you favor over Islam Makhachev? And I think that is the situation that Volkanovski is going to find himself in. Co-main event, Aljamain Sterling dominates TJ Dillashaw. And I think what we cannot lose track of is that TJ hurt his shoulder on the way down. Aljamain Sterling was taking him down. He was about to end up on the ground anyway. He had to post to try to stop the takedown, and that's when his shoulder came out of place. So it's not that TJ's shoulder just came out of place. Aljo put him in a position where he had to use that arm, and when he went to use that arm, it didn't hold up, and he ultimately ended up popping it out, and then he had to go back, made it to the second round somehow, which I don't know how TJ Dillashaw. When I went to Dana White, I go, how about TJ making it to round 2? He goes, dude, he's a different beast. He goes, his shoulder was out from the very first 30 seconds, and he made it to the second round and would never quit on himself. That fight could have been stopped in between rounds because the shoulder was out. They gave him an opportunity. Ultimately, Sterling did exactly what he was supposed to do. He attacked that shoulder with kicks, got another takedown, and then got the finish that he so desperately needed. Now he has vanquished Petr Yan. He has vanquished TJ Dillashaw. The only one left is Henry Cejudo that could possibly say, I'm the champion of the division. Aljamain Sterling retains 2 defenses of a championship that he won in a weird fashion, and now is showing himself as the best bantamweight in the world, hands down. What a performance tonight by the Funk Master. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Aljamain Sterling retains his championship, and he moves on and calls out Henry Cejudo for his next title fight. But as much as he may want to fight Cejudo, the next challenger may be right in front of him tonight in Sugar Sean O'Malley. Because a lot of people are going to have a lot to say about Sean O'Malley and him not winning the fight. And if I got to tell you, I thought Petr Yan had won that fight. I thought Petr Yan won round 1. Round 2, I thought he won clearly. But round 1 was up for debate. Round 3 was a very competitive round. So I can see how Sean O'Malley won. But if I was judging, I thought Petr Yan had done enough to win that round. The takedowns in round 1, I thought squeaked that one out for him. Round 2, he hurt Sean O'Malley really, really bad, even though he was hurt himself. And then in round 3, he landed some beautiful counter strikes, even though O'Malley landed some good damage himself. We have never seen anyone do to Petr Yan and put that type of damage on him like we saw Sean O'Malley put on Petr Yan tonight. Sean O'Malley belongs at the top of this division, and he showed that in winning the fight. Because it don't matter what you feel. It don't matter what you think. He got the decision. And the only way to get a decision like that is to put yourself in the fight, to be competitive. And Sean O'Malley was competitive against Petr Yan. Yan, for himself, showed a great version. He did exactly what we expected him to do. And I had a lot of people texting me right after the fight saying the fight was judged on the fact that they didn't expect Sean to do as well as he did, so they were giving him points for just being in there. I disagree. I think he was getting points for doling out damage. We have never seen Petr Yan beat up the way he was beat up in terms of the damage. Again, I thought he won the fight. Sean O'Malley gets his hand raised and proves that he is much more than just hype. This young man is real, and he is real at the very top of the division and very, very elite. Tonight's fight card was promised to be very good. And I thought we saw some tremendous performances, starting with Belal Muhammad. Guys, Belal Muhammad has been for a long time underrated and overlooked. It'll be very hard to overlook Belal Muhammad after tonight in the win over Sean Brady. Because his pressure was tremendous. His striking looked top-notch. His ability to push and work through anything was coming back in his direction was beautiful to watch. And he went out there and he called out guys that no one says they want to fight. Once again, he says he wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev. And a lot of people from his camp feel as though he can present some real problems to Chimaev. They feel like he can beat Khamzat. And nobody wants to beat or fight Khamzat Chimaev right now. Belal Muhammad is stepping up to the challenge after having the best performance of his entire career tonight versus Sean Brady, a guy who was undefeated. Hats off to Caitlin Chukag. Hats off to Manon Fior for beating Caitlin Chukagian, becoming one of the top contenders at flyweight to fight Valentina Shevchenko. Hats off to the boy Beneil Dariush, who went out there as a massive underdog and beat a guy that many believe is a future challenger to a championship. It's now time to stop overlooking Benny D. I know that we are talking about Volkanovski now, but I think Benny D is on the cusp of something very big. And I would not be surprised if Dariush finds himself locked in the octagon against the former champion in Charles do Bronx Oliveira. All in all, great night from the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. It's been a great week. And now we're off to New York City, which promises to be another fantastic night of fights. Guys, thank you for the support. All week, the views have been tremendous. Like, subscribe, tell your friend that your boy DC has a YouTube channel. Or tell your friend to tell their friend that DC has a YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Make sure you get my notifications. Until next time, peace, guys.